So Apple is going to release 5 new iPhones. Let me know down in the comments down below, do you think it's a good idea Apple is releasing 5 iPhones? But Apple, I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. We have the first iPhone that is set to release in spring, so March of 2020, quarter 1. That is going to be the iPhone SE 2. So yes, the SE is making a return. And this time, it might be called the iPhone 9. That's according to multiple sources. They claiming this is going to be called the iPhone 9. And it makes sense because basically this is a rebranded iPhone 8. It's taking the iPhone 8 shell or design and just putting the A13 chip inside. And you guys are probably scratching your heads like, why is it called the iPhone 9? Well, Apple skipped iPhone 9 back in 2017. It was the iPhone 8 and then the iPhone 10, as the kids call it, the iPhone X. So iPhone 9 is an appropriate name for this iPhone. It's also going to have a single rear camera. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to have the iPhone 11 quality or is it going to have the iPhone 8 quality. I think it's going to be the iPhone 8 quality just to bring down the cost. I don't think they're going to put the advancements of the iPhone 11 into the iPhone 9. This is also going to have a 4.7-inch LCD display, so no OLED here. Also, the RAM is going to be bumped up from 2 gigabytes of RAM, which the iPhone 8 had, to 3 gigabytes of RAM, which the iPhone 8 Plus had. So just to keep up with iOS 13 and to have the latest and greatest iOS updates, Apple is going to put in 3 gigabytes of RAM. And also, this is going to have 4G LTE, which we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. This is going to be priced at $400, $399. And the iPhone SE 2 or the iPhone 9 is an excellent way to get into the Apple ecosystem without spending an arm and a leg for an iPhone. So this is going to be good for the kids, good for your grandma, good for your grandpa. And yeah, I think this is going to be a great seller. I think a lot of people are going to hop on to the SE2. Now let's talk about the iPhone 12. This is going to be an iPhone we all been waiting for. This is the redesign year for the iPhone. And I cannot wait, guys. This is set to release in September 2020. So the first iPhone is in March 2020, quarter 1. And the iPhone 12 Pro is set to release like around September 2020. So starting off with the iPhone 12 Pro, it's going to feature a brand new OLED display. This is supplied by Samsung. Samsung makes one of the best displays in the market, so props to Samsung. So now we have brand new sizes for the Pros. We have 6.1 inch and we have 6.7 inch. And the 5.8 inch iPhone is no more. That's actually shrinking down to 5.4. So all Pro sizes are going to be bigger. So coming from the 5.8 inch to the 6.1 inch, and then from the bigger size we had 6.5 inch to 6.7. And all iPhone 12 models will have OLED. So that is exciting. So no more LCD except for the iPhone 9. Now it's going to be a better OLED display on the Pro models than the non-Pro model. We don't know what that is yet. It might feature a ProMotion display, which is 120 Hertz. It might have a thinner display, making the bezels a little bit more smaller and more futuristic. Or maybe it might feature the feature from the Apple Watch Series 5, the LTPO display. So that is an always-on display, 15% less power, so more energy efficient. Or it could just simply mean it's brighter, more contrast, richer blacks. So I don't know, better OLED technology on the Pro iPhones than the non-Pro iPhone 12. So gotta wait and see what that's gonna be about. All the iPhone 12 models will feature the A14 chip. It is a 5 nanometer cell processor, so that is just insane. So Apple is killing it, crushing it with the processors. It's only a matter of time that they're gonna start putting it into their MacBook Pro, which I cannot wait for that. So yeah, Apple is one of the best when it comes down to the processor. In the more top of the line iPhone 12 Pro models, you are gonna have the time of flight cameras, or TOF. That is for AR technology. Now I want to talk about the design of the iPhone 12, which is the most exciting part. This is going to be highly inspired by the iPhone 4. This iPhone was ahead of its time. Glass back, stainless steel. This was revolutionary, and shout out to Steve Jobs. So Apple is going back to the more boxy iPhone and getting away from the curves and stuff like that. So I'm very, very excited to see this because it's going to be more modernized. You're not going to have no chin, no bezels. Well, thin bezels, I should say. So that leaves me, are we going to get a smaller notch, no notch, fingerprint underneath the display? We just don't know yet. It's too early to really tell what Apple has in stores for the design. We absolutely know that they're going to take inspiration from the iPhone 4. Because thinking back at it, 2020 is the 10-year anniversary of the iPhone 4. Because the iPhone 4 came out in 2010. So it kind of makes sense as like an anniversary thing. So I see Apple going back to the iPhone 4's design. So just imagine, like, picture it like this. Think of the iPhone 4 with just all screen on the front. That would be so freaking sick, and having a larger display. And since it's boxy, it's easier to hold in your hand, so you don't have to worry about it slipping. Like, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see this iPhone 12. It's going to be exciting. And Qualcomm is working with Apple to develop 5G. Now, when the iPhone 4 came out, people were a little disappointed to see the lack of 4G LTE. It was only 3G. So yeah, it took them long enough until the iPhone 5 when we had LTE. But 3G was just a thing. So this is kind of like that time. Like now we have 5G. So 5G is out, man. And Qualcomm is working with Apple. And they're excited to work with Apple because Apple is the most popular smartphone in the US, that is. So having 5G on the iPhone is going to completely change everything. Once Apple start adding in 5G, it's going to be like, it's going to change everything, guys. Now in terms of the RAM is going to be 4 gigabytes on the non-Pro model, so the iPhone 12. And then on the Pro model, you have 6 gigabytes of RAM. So 4 gigabytes versus 6, that's a pretty significant amount. So the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro is going to completely shake the world. I'm not even going to end out the video just yet because we have some leaks and rumors of the 2021 iPhone. So the sources are claiming that Apple is going to remove the charging port. So the Lightning port is going to be no more in 2021. You guys thinking Type-C? Nope. There's no ports whatsoever on the 2020 iPhone. Now, they're only going to do this on one model, the high-end Pro model. They're going to have it on the other models, the more affordable ones. But for the most part, it's going to be no ports. So Apple is setting a trend here. So 2021, no charging ports, similar to what they did with the headphone jack in 2016. And now you're seeing a lot of smartphone companies and manufacturers remove the headphone jack. And I kind of do miss the headphone jack a little bit, but we got to move forward. And I kind of got used to the wireless technology too. So I'm curious to see how having no charging port is going to change. How would we like put our phone into DFC mode? How would we restore our devices? I'm just curious to see how Apple is going to do it in 2021 when they remove the charging port. Like, what is Phil Schiller going to say now? Courage? I mean, hey, we just got to wait and see. And another thing too that has me thinking, what is going to be included inside the box of the 2021 iPhone? You know, since there's no port, you can't put in a Lightning to Type-C anymore. So are they going to include a wireless charger inside the box? I don't know. It's way too early to tell everything. And there was a source claiming that Apple is going to include AirPods in the 2020 iPhone. I don't think Apple is going to do that now that they released AirPods Pro. It's kind of like it doesn't really make sense because for some people, they like the regular AirPods. It's a nice thing to have, but I don't think they're going to do that. So 2020 is going to be the last year we're going to see the Lightning port on iPhone. So no Type-C. We're going to have Lightning, highly likely. It would be nice to end it out with a bang if we have Type-C, but there's literally no sources aiming towards Type-C on the iPhone 12. But we just got to wait and see. But most likely it's going to be Lightning. And then no port in 2021. And then also we have the SE3. It's going to come in a 5.5 inch display, similar to the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, something to really think about, the iPhone 9, the 4.7 inch iPhone SE2, is actually going to be bigger than the 5.4 inch iPhone 11 Pro. So basically the iPhone 9 is going to be bigger body-wise, but the iPhone 12, the 5.4 inch, is actually going to be smaller, but it has a bigger display. Similar to what they did with the iPhone 10. It's a 5.8 inch display, bigger than the plus size iPhone 7 Plus, but it was actually a bigger display, but a smaller body. So guys, that pretty much concludes today's video. Let me know down in the comments down below what you guys think about Apple removing the charging port on an iPhone, or what you guys think about Apple releasing 5 iPhones. You think it's overwhelming? You think it's going to be hard for the consumer to decide? Make sure you guys subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on. And other than that, your boy Pops, and I hope you guys have a simple day. Deuces.